Hey everyone, what is going on? My name is Nick and welcome back to the Nickadug Express, where I like to express my opinions on movies, TV, music, really whatever. And in today's video, I will be talking about all seasons of 13 Reasons Why, ranked from worst to best. If you haven't previously checked out my review of season 4 of 13 Reasons Why, I literally just made that before this video, so go check that out if you want to know my maybe deeper thoughts, more opinionated thoughts just about season 4. But with that being said, let's get into this list. So coming in at the bottom is season 3. Now, I don't know if that's that big of a surprise to people. You might have your own specific list. Season 3 comes in last just because of the plain fact of it being based around Bryce. And it's literally a murder mystery season. And from the very first episode, it's being narrated by this other character that we have no clue about until she appears in that first episode. And so it's like say what you want about season 2, but it's like everything that season 2 left you on, they completely just don't give a crap about it. And then season 3 starts and they're like, let's just start throwing stuff, and I guess that would work. And it's just like, what? Like, I don't know this chick. She's narrating the show. Then Bryce is dead, okay, and now it's a murder mystery apparently, and we're gonna find out who his killer is, which doesn't happen till the last episode of that season. And that last episode is not even that noteworthy to me either. Like, it's one of the most letdown seasons, and I thought season 2's finale was kind of a letdown. And the entire season only had a couple episodes I was actually engaged with. And, I did enjoy Tyler and the whole, standing up for being assaulted or abused or whatever you want to call it. And, like, those were good themes. And if the season had a character be more focused and have his own plot, but the show turned into this weird show that was like almost becoming a fantasy. Like, even compared to the first season, it's just like, how did the show get here? Why is this the focus? And honestly, it was just a complete disappointment towards the end. Coming in at number 3 is season 2. Now, this one was slightly tough in the sense that it was coming right off of season 1, and if I haven't said this already in my other video, I literally started both season 2 and 3, but I could not finish it when I started them until recently when season 4 came out. I decided to rewatch all of them, no matter how much I disliked it. And so coming in at number 3, season 2, it still has Hanna Baker. That is one of the pluses to it, but that doesn't exactly make it a good season. Automatically, from what I remembered, which when I started season 2 the second time, I remembered why I didn't like the season 2 premiere, is because it literally just starts with Clay, like, right away, tonally changing, and it just didn't feel like it made sense to me. Like, I get he wants to move on, and he wanted to help this chick out, but I just didn't buy that they were gonna, like, start dating right away, him and Sky. Like, I was just like, what? And then he gets a tattoo. He completely just seems like he's more of a, like, he's not a douche, but he's almost acting like it. And it's like he doesn't give a crap about things. And from where they left off in season 1, I was just like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, maybe down at the end of season 2, but not like this first episode. It felt like they were just like it was like a slow-paced episode to me, but it felt like they were doing a bunch of random stuff everywhere, and it just didn't feel tonally right. And then the entire rest of the season has each episode different people narrating, and it's, the courtroom cases with Hanna, and leading into the final result, either one of those, of just the entire case finishing, and then Hannah's funeral, and all of them saying goodbye, especially Clay having to move on. So there's good parts and there's meh parts to season 2. I did like the season 2 finale until the end. Season 2 finale, at least it has more going on than season 3's, but it feels so like weird. Like first you got the first 20 minutes like saying goodbye to Hanna, and then that is over with, and then you got the whole Tyler getting abused by Montgomery, and then you have the last like 25, maybe half an hour just focused on Tyler and gonna shoot up the school, which the whole theme, people thought that was gonna happen. Not that it's a letdown, because obviously you don't want to show a school to be shot up, but I felt like that would have more consequences, especially how they portrayed it, if that's the way they went, and season 3 could have been about something else. But since they didn't do that, then, you know, he goes away with Tony, and it kind of just leaves, like, super quickly. Like, season 3 is going to pick up, like, with such a big emotion, and really they don't focus that much on it. Like, in like the retrospective way you would think, the way they left season 2, like they just end with him leaving with Tony, and it's like, what's gonna happen next? And honestly, like season 3 just becomes something else. So overall, season 2, it's better than 3. I think it just has the issue of everybody narrating it. It doesn't feel like it has a specific voice, so because of that, it's just focusing on a bunch of these characters that we already know, and then putting a bunch of more information that makes it all foggy about season 1. Like, did this actually happen like that? And how does that make sense if this is what they said in season 1? It's like, because season 1 was based off a book, they literally just went past the source material at this point, which they went way past the source material in season 3, just way too much. So coming in at number 2 is season 4, the most recent season, which I just talked about in another video. Became 10 episodes. Was not expecting that, because, you know, the whole format, 13 Reasons, was like, okay. But 10 episodes, you shorten it by 3. You have this season focused on Clay. You focus on him and his specific condition that he's dealing with this season, and you also focus on the repercussions of the last couple of seasons, and just him and his overall mind state and mental state from those seasons, and just everything that's came from the premiere of season 1 to now, building into what is the season 4 finale. As much as this season isn't perfect, I mean, there's only 4, but you get to see Clay more. You get to feel a bit more of his presence like he did in season 1. Even when he did narrate in season 2, you get to see like what that would actually be like in a full season, and you get to at least like more of the characters in a way, because of the focus being on Clay and then him caring about all his friends. And it really had good subjects to talk about, really the anxiety, the depression, the just, you know, what happens when you have to keep all these secrets. And I really did like the therapist arc. You know, they've mentioned him many times in the past, but actually bringing him in, having Gary Sinise, it was really a good, I wouldn't say clash, but a good back and forth between the back of them. And so I did not know what to expect, but I was like, I really want to see how this season ends. First 4 episodes were kind of, or even first 5 were kind of like average. I mean, I did enjoy the first episode, but there was like some weird, little cringy stuff, especially the camping episode. But once you get to like episode 6, it does pick up, and then 7 through 10 were the best episodes of this season. And series finale, there's not much you can expect. It's a very long episode, but for what they did, I think it was a way more well thought out episode, more well written. The acting was good this season, in my opinion. I think the acting for the most part is always good. It's just the writing that can really bog down the actors, especially if they're just acting like so out of character. But this finale was way better than season 2 and 3's, and I only had really 2 issues with it. Was one, the very last scene of the series finale, which is, I mean, I understood why, the car and the reference in the first season, all this stuff, but it just felt like a really long take, which was cool. But I feel like they could have added it in a more like uplifting way. Like, again, they're driving away, but instead they just stayed in the front. I don't know. It was kind of a weird, very last scene, but didn't hate it. It was just kind of weird about it. And then I wish he did have one more Hanna scene. I know that they wrapped that storyline up in season 2, but it felt kind of, in season 2. I was hoping for more of a goodbye or a different actual goodbye than we got in season 2. So for me personally, it didn't even have to be that big a scene. I just wish. I mean, I was happy when she did show up. If that was actually her, I don't know if they used old footage and just spliced it together, but I was happy to see her and then actually bring that at least part back. Because, I mean, that was all about the first season. So I did enjoy it. I just wish they had a little bit more of a dynamic just to, like, have one more final goodbye. But it was fine regardless. And I really enjoyed that season ender, or series ender, I should say. And as a whole, season 4 was way more bingeable to me than the last 2 seasons and had a thorough storyline going on. Even if it did feel overhanded at times, the show's kind of been like that. It does end on a good note, and a lot of characters get a lot of good moments. And that leads me into my top place, which is not that hard to know. Season 1. Season 1 came out about 3 years ago. I remember it coming out, and I don't know if I watched it right away, but I watched it within that first week. It's 13 episodes, so I was like, time to binge. And it was definitely bingeable, which I can't say for season 2 or 3. Those 2 seasons didn't feel bingeable. Season 4 did feel bingeable, so I like that. And in season 1, it's all about Hanna Baker from the beginning, her narrating every episode from the tapes. I've known a couple of people that really just didn't like the show that much because of her. Like, they were really just like, I don't like why she's complaining. I don't like why she is even doing this. She seems annoying to me. She seems like she wants attention. And it's like, in this first season, they say all these things. All the characters call her out. They call her names. And it's like, I kind of get why some people view her as like I want to say bitch, but like, as much as in a sense it feels like that. I mean, yeah, she's leaving 13 tapes, and it's like, why would she do this? It sounds like she wants attention, all this other stuff. It's like, okay, that's like, you're kind of not diving too far into it, but like, first of all, it's a fictional show based off a book, and this is just a story based off this person. And like, me, maybe like in real life some person wouldn't leave 13 tapes, but people leave reasons why they commit suicide in real life, just not to that extent. But in this reality, this person does it, and people would be affected by it because they cared about her in a sense, especially Clay. And it had a really deep emotional themes. And if you can just look past that like realisticness, because I don't think it would happen in real life. Like, maybe it has, maybe it wouldn't, but for this fictional story, it's a TV show, alright? Let's just look at it like that. It's a good season. It starts off, you know what it's going to be about. Each episode's a different tape, leading into the season finale when you see her finally commit suicide in the flashbacks. And even though they cut it out, which makes the episode a little bit not as gripping to me, it's still a good episode. I watched it when the scene was in there, so it was a gripping episode. And I really just like the format. It's very bingeable. You go each episode through a different tape. She's still narrating, but it's about a different person instead of each episode being narrated by a different person. And it's coming from that book, the source material. So you can tell all these characters are being fleshed out from a specific source. So you're not getting a bunch of weird character arcs and weird places these characters are going in the later seasons, because they already have been made and written in their place. So all you do is translate that from book to TV. And I mean, obviously it doesn't have to do that well, but they did it well in that first season, and you enjoy these characters the way they're written and made from that book. And if you like the book, then I think you would probably like the first season. I haven't read the book, but I would think it translate well enough. And if you really are annoyed at Hanna for that season, it's like, there's not much I can do, because it's focused on her. I really enjoy that first season because I really felt like I was in Clay's position 3 years ago. Not for the specific reason of suicide, but just I really related to his character. He had a lot going on. He's an only child. I'm an only child. He has a lot of, anxiety problems. I just really like related to his character like so much, so I was really interested following his character that entire season, seeing what it built up to. There's a lot of intrigue and mystery, but they did the intrigue and mystery more through the character arcs than making it a murder mystery like in season 3. And so it did everything right. I wouldn't say it's like the most fantastic show ever in the first season, but from episode 1 to 13, a lot of people say it should have been the one and only season. In a sense, I can agree with that. I would probably think it's better if it just stayed that one season, because it feels like one complete story. Even if they do like drive away at the end, it's like it's kind of open-ended. Like you don't need it to continue. And if they did continue, maybe they could have done it better. But besides the point, season 1 comes in at number 1, and it's a really enjoyable season, really bingeable. All the actors give it their all, and I really enjoy Hanna, even if you think she's being pretentious or whatever. I enjoy the dynamic between Clay and her. I've always liked Clay. He's been my favorite character, so him and the feelings he was vibing off of from Hanna really resonated with me. And when you get those last 3 episodes of season 1, those really stuck true to me. Just seeing how it all happened, how a person's downfall can be just built up, even if some of the reasons are just high school drama. High school is not always the fun place to be. And they do bring some of those themes back to season 4. So in the end, they did tie it up in a decent enough way of the show. And it is a bingeable show. You know, you get those middle seasons that are kind of just, why'd they do it like this? But whatever. And with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed my ranking. I mostly enjoyed this show, except for those couple of seasons. But, you know, show's going to have its ups and downs. That's just what happens with TV shows sometimes. But if you want to check out my season 4 review, go check that one out. I literally just uploaded that before this episode, and I hope you all enjoyed this ranking video. If you have any other suggestions or videos I should make, please put it down in the comments down below. And yeah, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.